I'm asking Dr. Chukwudi. Dr. Chukwudi.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, great. Could you share your screen?
Okay. Where is it? Yeah.
Okay, if you could put it in full screen.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, if you try to stay within the 10-12 minutes if it's possible, sorry, but really, okay. So can you put it in full screen mode? We only see the.
Yeah, it's on full screen now.
No, we still see it in small. Maybe you have do you have two screens or?
I don't know, but it's on full screen.
Yes, not for us.
Slideshow. If you can put it on slideshow.
Look on slideshow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on. Let me see. Yeah, it's on slideshow now.
Yes, now it's working. Perfect. Please go ahead.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. I believe you can hear me clearly. I'm Dr. Mrs. Ijeoma Chukwudi. I'll be speaking on first hepatitis ruminantis in Enugu State. We're looking at the seroprevalence, awareness, and risk factor. The context we're looking at here is the seroprevalence of PPR in Enugu State, then farmers' awareness of the PPR disease, and on routine vaccination against PPR disease and risk factor. An overview of the whole thing, which I know it has been mentioned before. I would just say PPR is a highly contagious transboundary viral disease, was first identified in Ivory Coast in 1940, produces morbidity of 100% and mortality that can be up to 90% in naive population. And thus, it threatens the social economic growth and food security and sustainable livelihood of many households. That is why FAO and OIE have set out for global eradication of PPR by 2030. So down into the business, seroprevalence of PPR in Enugu State. PPR was first reported in eastern Nigeria in West African dwarf goats in 1973. Then eastern Nigeria had 9 states, which Enugu was one of them. And between May 2010 and April 2011, a seroprevalence study was carried out in Enugu State here, and they obtained a seroprevalence of 47%. 6 years down the line, between November 2017 and June 2018, another seroprevalence study was carried out by I and my team, and we got a seroprevalence of 42.5% in southeastern Nigeria, which Enugu State was one of the state sampled. And Enugu State actually recorded the highest seroprevalence of 62.2%, compared to what it was 6 years before this study, which was 47%. This actually showed that there was an increase or an upsurge in the spread of this disease. The highest prevalence was actually recorded in the month of March, which is a period characterized by dry, cold, and dusty weather, which ultimately favors the spread of this disease. Farmers' awareness of the PPR disease and the routine vaccination against PPR disease. We carried out we used a survey, a questionnaire here to determine the level of farmers' awareness of the disease and the routine vaccination against the disease. And we found out, we actually distributed this to households that keep these animals and those that rear these animals and those that sell, that trade on these animals. We also gave these questionnaires to the veterinary doctors practicing in the states. And from our findings, the farmers actually listed diarrhea, cough, and catarrh as the biggest problem of their flock. this actually makes us to understand that PPR was actually a problem in the study area. We also observed that there were so many forms of self-medication, which was a common practice among these sheep and goat traders and rearers. They engage in varieties of native, curative, and prophylactic treatments. From our study, we noticed that 52% of the respondents, that's the farmers, actually use herbs to treat their animals, while only 38 use orthodox medicine. And among these 52%, they made us to understand that when their animals are not getting better, they resort to selling these animals off in the markets. And among the 38 that actually use orthodox medicine, we found out that only 38% of them that consult veterinarians, while 62% actually go to, they obtain their medications from local drugstores